order for Let's Spill the Tea.
Oh, okay, now we're recording. Corey's making fun of me.
Kelly's gonna smell like a fish.
I have to do a fishing tournament next week. As in, I'm not participating in it. I'm doing the sound for the announcements. But I will still smell like fish because I'm going to be in proximity of like hundreds of fish.
I just imagined you participating in a fishing tournament.
Oh. I do have a boating license.
Yeah, but I don't think you can fish.
No, I have never cast a rod in my entire life, other than Animal Crossing.
Same. No,
that is the only fishing tourney I have participated in.
No, I have fished before, but I was like 8 with my pop-up Reed and my dad.
I have owned a hermit crab. That's about it. That only lasted like a month because
I feel like
Marissa
don't last
no.
long.
So Marissa and we won it at like our elementary school fair. And our parents were like, "Why the fuck did you get a hermit crab?" We're like, "'Cause we won."
Why would they give out an animal though?
Yeah, our parents weren't around, so they had no idea.
That's crazy.
So Marissa and we decided to do joint custody. All right.
Oh God, Marissa killed it.
Apparently, like, I don't remember exactly, but like it was in Marissa's care. I never even brought it to my house. Like, that's how long it lasted.
Oh my God.
And I think his name was Sheldon or something, because we were like 10. So we had to do a shell name. And like mold got in his thing, his not a cage, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
His home. He got some mold in his home and then died.
Oh, that's tragic.
It
Also,
was.
my dad made me a peanut butter Nutella sandwich.
Oh, that sounds so good right now. I have the
I feel like that's not gonna make my stomach feel better though.
No, the peanut butter, yes. The Nutella, probably not.
We'll see how it goes.
I have the Jif peanut butter chocolate spread, so it's like already mixed in. Oh, it's so good. It goes great with apples, I must say.
Yummy.
Or on a rice cake.
Yummy.
All right. So I guess I spilled my tea. I'm drinking coffee rather than tea. What is your tea, or are you drinking tea, or whatever the fuck? Because for once, I started it.
I'm drinking water.
Good, because you're dying.
My tea is that I'm dying. I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna throw up, actually. So.
And you're still going to work.
Yeah. Well, because I can't go next Sunday.
Right. Wait.
Well, this Sunday. I can't go this Sunday.
What's this Sunday?
I will be celebrating life.
Oh. You mean the opposite of life?
Yeah. But, I can't go, so I'm like, 1, I need money. 2, I don't want to be like, I'm dying, because I haven't even been there for like a month. Well, I guess technically I've been there for a month, but like the first like 3 weeks was just 1 day a week until like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So like, I don't really count that.
No, I get it. It sucks calling out this early.
I already felt bad emailing her about Sunday.
Being like, hey, I had a death in the family.
Her response was, okay, no problem. And I was like, so you hate me and you want me dead? And
no, they're legally obligated to allow you to have bereavement.
Yeah, but I was like, that's all you said is okay, not even AY, just okay.
Oh, damn. You got the abbreviated okay.
But then I was told that if I get a longer email, that's the That's the scary part.
Yeah, no, you should be grateful that you only got like 3 words.
Yeah. It's okay.
No, your boss does not hate you. She very much understands that someone died.
And someone's dead.
All right. Would you like your story time?
Yeah. So I can shut up.
Well, first I have to make you guess as per usual.
Arson.
No.
Murder.
Ish. I've been on a serial killer kick lately.
Oh my gosh.
Because last week was Belganess.
Mhm.
Today I have Dorothea Puente.
Oh my god.
Do you know this
No.
one? Yeah.
I did like a project on her for like our forensics class.
Oh
We had
shit,
to
the
do like the
serial
serial killer Siller
The
box.
serial
cereal
killer
box.
Yeah, the serial killer box.
Yeah, and it was like on a cereal box. I did Dorothea Puente.
I think I did H.H. Holmes because I originally had Eileen Warnos, but then I was doing the research and I'm like, hey, so like the reason she started to kill is not exactly school appropriate.
Yeah.
So she made me change it. Like I genuinely said like, hey, is this okay? And she's like, I honestly don't know, so we should probably change it.
Yeah.
Because it was what my year was the first year of forensics, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So she genuinely had nothing to base it off of. Like that year, she was literally reading off of the slide. She literally said, "Hey, I learned this last night too, guys." And we're just like, "What?"
That's crazy.
Same shit with environmental science. My year was the first year.
You just get a.
My class was the guinea pig class. First year of full-time audio. Many knew first year of stagecraft, and then they got canceled year because not enough people wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Forensic science, environmental, there was so much other shit that like I was the guinea pig class. You guys were the result of the guinea pigs.
We just had a crap ton of dancers.
Yeah, you guys did have so many freaking dancers. It was kind of scary. Because everyone else was dropping out.
Everybody else was dropping out, and then my sophomore year, we got someone to switch.
Okay,
into dance.
We should preface, when we say drop out, they go back to their home schools because we are like a county-wide school.
Yeah.
So they're not dropping out of high school completely. They're dropping out of our school. I think we started with like 120 or something, or like 100 students and graduated with like 60. We had people drop out senior year because they didn't want to do the senior thesis project. It was also COVID, so like, I don't blame.
I think this
Leave.
gave me a. Ooh,
You said it twice.
I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
I think she like gave me some like pity points because I was like an anxious little bomb.
I got pity points. I got a 90 on my STP. I should have failed that shit.
I was like a little anxious bomb, and she like would actually sit in the dressing room with me and like talk to me and be like, "Are you okay?" Like she did that all the time. And I think she knew that I like did not want to present, and I was like on the verge of like vomiting. So I think she gave me pity points.
She probably did. I know I got pity points. Cause like wasn't it like if you are above or below 10 to 15 minutes, you'll fail. That's what we were told. I finished mine in 8.5 minutes because I was anxious, so I was talking fast.
Yeah.
Ethan went before me. We talked about Ethan in a previous episode. It's not like we're triangulating him, but Ethan went before me, and I was like looking at my watch and I'm like, I was supposed to be in there already. He was 17.5 minutes.
Oh God.
But neither of us failed. We both passed with an A.
Probably because
it was also COVID.
Yeah.
So, like, also, they fucking threw the freshman class in on me last second. Because by the time I was about to go in, second period has started. And so the husband of the dance teacher, my audio teacher, he came up to me and he's like, so I'm going to have the freshman class sit in on your presentation so they can get a feel for what it's going to be like when they're seniors. And I'm like, what? This is unfair.
I would have actually killed myself.
I literally went out of that room. I think like Emma was after me. And I look at her and I'm like, you have an audience. And she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
Senior year was a trip.
Anyway,
Dorothea Puente. So she was born January 9th, 1929 in San Bernardino County, California. Both of her parents were severe alcoholics. Sensitivity warning. I totally should have started with that. Her father would threaten to kill himself on multiple occasions, pointing a gun to his head in front of all the kids. And there were like 7 or 8 kids. I don't know where Dorothea falls in the line. I know she was one of the younger ones. So she was probably like second youngest, third youngest.
Scary.
Very scary. And then when she was young, I saw some say like she was 4 years old, some say she was 6 years old. But basically around that time, her father died of tuberculosis when she was very little. And then not long after, her mother would also die. Again, conflicting sources of how she died. I saw in one source she died in a motorcycle accident. I didn't know motorcycles existed in the 30s.
Okay, I didn't know that either.
I don't think that's right. So
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's correct.
You know, hold on. Google. And were motorcycles invented? Oh. The first internal combustion gasoline-powered motorcycle was invented in 1885.
So they had motorcycles before cars?
Not modern day motorcycles, obviously. Which I think is what we're picturing.
Like,
so,
damn, motorcycle.
Yeah. Which, again, I still don't know if that's true because I only saw it in, like, one source, but, like, her mother also died not long after.
Okay.
So then all children were sent to an orphanage for the time being. Basically, they were in the foster system for the longest time. So 1946, she married her first husband. They had 2 daughters together. And in 1948, she claimed he died of a heart attack, but most sources say it was just a cover up of him leaving her. Like, this was the kind of, she was 17 when they got married, 16, 17. And he was much older. So that kind of situation. So now, quote, widowed, she began to forge checks. She needed money. Women didn't really work in the 40s, 50s. But that didn't last long because she was caught and she was jailed for 6 months. In 1952, she married Axel Johnson. This was a very violent relationship. like abuse upon abuse.
Okay.
He was like a fisherman, or like he worked in the sea. So she would use his work trips to bring men into the home and gamble his money away.
Okay.
Yeah, she had her fun apparently. In 1960, she was arrested again while owning an illegal brothel and spent 90 days in Sacramento County Jail. And not long after her release, she would be arrested once again for vagrancy and sentenced to another 90 days.
Oh.
She's in and out of jail, bro. So now she's like, shit, I need more money. So she's now committing crimes for money.
Fair. Well, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. She did also find work as a nurse's aide for private homes and began to manage boarding houses, which is where her history begins, really. So
Yay.
in 1966, she divorced Johnson. So like they had a very long marriage, only to remarry the same year to Robert Puente in Mexico City.
Okay.
This marriage would end in 1968 due to him being unfaithful and having commitment issues.
Okay.
He fled though, so the divorce wasn't finalized until 1973. 7 years later.
Damn. Tough.
So, in 1968, during this time, she was still married to the man. Puente would own a 3-story, 16-bedroom home at 2100 F Street. It became a home for the mentally ill, recovering alcoholics, where they hosted AA meetings, and the homeless. She would convince the tenants to have her take over their financials and cash their social security checks. Again, money, money, money.
Nice.
So she would appear to the public as a respectable older woman. Like, she was like the grandma of the town, pretty much.
Cute.
She never dyed her gray hair. She wore vintage clothing and large glasses. Like, she looked like a stereotypical grandma.
Okay, well, that like works in her favor though.
Exactly. So no one was suspicious of her.
Mm-hmm.
She was a respected member of the local Hispanic community, funding charities, scholarships, and radio programs. Even more good on her side. So, in 1976, now that she's officially divorced, she married Pedro Montalvo. He was an abusive alcoholic, and this is the one I don't know what happened to him, but their relationship ended, pretty much. Because she does remarry later on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's dead. I don't know if he survived her. Huh?
We don't know anything.
I literally could not find information. I probably just wasn't on the right sources, but I kind of did these notes within 2 days. So,
Okay.
she would now begin to pick up men in bars. She would steal their benefit checks. And she was caught on 34 counts of treasury fraud, which means she stole checks from 34 people.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. She was given 5 years probation and had to pay $4,000 in restitution. Which, like, only probation?
Yeah, that's.
Goddamn.
I feel like there should be more.
Yeah, just maybe a little. In 1982, she robbed 74-year-old Malcolm McKenzie. They met in a bar, and she was invited back to his place, to where she just slipped a little something in his drink, you know, just make him a little unconscious. And robbed him of his coin collection, watches, and other miscellaneous jewelry, including a diamond ring belonging to his mother that he was already wearing. Like, he was out cold, and she just went, I'm gonna take this ring.
You know what? Good for her.
So, a few months later, 61-year-old Ruth Monroe died of respiratory depression caused by a drug overdose in Puente's home. She claimed it was a suicide and police just believed her because they're like, oh, well, she just overdosed. Like, speaking of medication, did I take mine? I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, well, that was a bad segue.
That was a really bad segue. Sorry. I'm like, my antidepressants are right here. And I'm just like, did I? I don't think I did.
I need more coffee in my coffee.
I felt that. Did I take you? Like, because I don't want to take an extra one if I did. But I also don't want to miss a day because this medication, like, you've seen me if I've missed a day of medication.
You might just miss a day, I don't know.
I think I might just have to risk it. I don't think I did, is the thing.
But it's better to miss a dose than to double.
I know, that's the thing. Because, okay, I'm going to backtrack. I have to eat first. I made my breakfast. I had a breakfast sandwich. And then I threw my plate out. I did not have coffee yet. But I did have water. I did not have a sip of water today. I did not take my medication.
Okay.
I figured it out.
Okay.
Look at me. I'm so smart, Corey. It's
You
also
are so
only
smart.
11:30, so it's not like I'm late.
Hmm.
Because, like, if it was like 4 o'clock, I would not be taking my medication.
In like 0.2 seconds, I'm gonna go put more coffee into this coffee.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I said in 0.2 seconds.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm good. I'm at a pause point.
Okay. So give me un segundo.
Okay, time skip.
My tummy is not wanting me to get up,
Well, then don't.
but I need to.
Make up your mind.
Okay, I'm getting up. My tummy did not want me to, though.
Okay, now insert time skip. Welcome back.
Hello.
Alrighty. So yeah, she claimed it was a suicide. Police believed her. And then I derailed about my medication.
Yeah.
So she would later that year be convicted of 3 counts of theft and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Once again. She was caught by Dorothy Osborne when she found checks, credit cards, and other items missing after Puente visited her home. I mean, like, there's only one answer, bro.
Yeah.
So while she was in prison, she would write letters and grow a friendship with 77-year-old Everson Gilmouth from Oregon. She was released early in 1985 and continued their relationship. He moved into the boarding house with her and even picked her up upon her early release. And then they were married in November 1985.
She has so many husbands.
Oh, she very much does. But after she married Puente, she kept the last name Puente. She was like, I'm not changing my last name anymore. I'm done.
It doesn't constitute a marriage.
Mm-hmm. So that same year, she hired a handyman named Ismael Flores. She sold Gilmouth's truck to him for $500.
Okay.
And then asked him to build a wooden box that was 6 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot.
Girl, how is that not suspicious?
After he built it, he would find it nailed shut, and she asked him to help him move the box, which now weighed about 300 pounds, to a new location, but ultimately decided to leave it near a river about an hour drive away. They were like going to go to like a storage unit kind of thing, and then she was like, I don't want to move this anymore. And it was like near a swamp.
That's disgusting.
Sorry, a river.
It's so disgusting.
So this box would be used for Gilmour's remains. That was discovered by 2 fishermen, but his body would not be identified until a couple years later, due to decomp. Are you okay? Why is there gum in your water bottle?
An empty water bottle, and it's my gum bottle.
Okay, you weirdo. So, in fall 1986, Betty Mae Palmer, age 78, moved into the boarding house. Puente cashed nearly $7,000 belonging to Palmer after her disappearance.
Okay.
In February 1987, 78-year-old Leona Carpenter was put into her care only to disappear shortly after. She was placed into care due to a flurazepam OD in October 1986, not 68. That was a long time ago. Long time before this.
Yeah.
So Puente was given power of attorney and began cashing her checks 10 days later. In December, she officially moved into Puente's home in her care, and then in February, she disappeared. So, also February 1987, 62-year-old James Gallup moved into the home. Gallup had been diagnosed with a possible malignant tumor in his colon, which, ouch. And Puente was like, all right, so, like, we'll get further testing done, like, we'll get this taken care of. But then he would disappear.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. In July 1987, 58-year-old Eugene Gamel was found dead from a supposed suicide. It was an overdose of amitriptyline and ethanol, which, okay. So Puente claimed he had a history of suicide attempts, so she was never really suspected of his death.
Okay.
October of 87, 61-year-old Vera Martin moved into the boarding house. Puente forged many of her checks only for her to disappear. Later that month, like still in October, Dorothy Miller, age 65, moved in upstairs, and only weeks later she would disappear. In November, Puente hired a carpet cleaner to remove a large, quote, pile of foul-smelling saline in Miller's room.
Okay, ill.
Yeah. And she would also continue to forge her checks that amounted to about $11,000, which is insane to me. So, February 1988, 52-year-old Alviro, a.k.a. Bert Montoya, moved into the boarding house, and Dorothea took over his affairs right before he went missing. Puente was looked into, but nothing was found suspicious. But social workers still filed a missing persons claim, but police were handed a note saying he left on his own terms.
Okay.
So they were like, all right, it's not a missing persons. If he left, he left.
Yeah.
So,
Sus, though.
Oh, of course it is. March 1988, 55-year-old Benjamin Fink was sent into Puente's care. His brother visited on a weekly basis for about 6 weeks. And then by the end of April, he was gone. Like, they had no idea where he went. So, police soon returned with a warrant to search the premises. And what they found was not good.
Scary.
So, Carpenter was found in the southeastern corner of the yard with codeine, diazepam, and flurazepam in her brain tissue.
Damn.
Gallup was found under the gazebo, and his brain and liver had presence of amitriptyline. Bert Montoya was found next to Carpenter's body, and toxicology showed loxapine, flurazepam, diphenhydramine, amitriptyline, and carbamazepine. And he had prescriptions for all of these except for the carbamazepine. So
Okay,
it would
wow.
have been in his body anyway. Miller was found under a slab of concrete near the rose bushes, and his brain tissue showed carbamazepine and flurazepam. Do you see like a running theme here?
Yeah, girly pop. What are you doing?
No, this is the one that kind of fucked me up, not gonna lie. Betty Palmer was found missing her head, hands, and lower limbs, with the autopsy showing doxylamine, which is an antihistamine, haloperidol, and flurazepam found, and she was found in a shallow hole in the front yard and identified from comparing medical x-rays. Which by that I mean like they took her previous x-rays and compared it to like what they found, and it was like, yeah, these are medical procedures that were done on her, kind of thing.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't know if those body parts were ever uncovered. I'm just gonna put that out there.
That's gross.
So Gilmouth would be identified from hospital records. Pretty much the same way Palmer was identified. Fink was found next to the shed, wrapped in a plastic knotted bedspread secured with duct tape. And toxicology showed amitriptyline, loxapine, and flurazepam.
God.
Literally, flurazepam was in fucking everybody. So many of these prescriptions were within her home, which just showed, like,
yeah, bad.
Yeah. And then they found over 60 Social Security checks cashed after these tenants died.
You can at least wait a little bit.
Right.
Make it less suspicious.
It would be more suspicious if there was a time, like a gap between.
I guess.
Like if they just, because she controlled their financials, so she was always the one cashing the checks anyway.
I feel like she's not waiting long enough to kill them. Like it's getting suspicious because they're like barely there.
Well, they had no idea they were dead because she was the one taking care of the checks.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, she decided to run.
Okay.
She was like, shit, I'm caught. Let's book it. So she booked a flight to Los Angeles, but never boarded in hopes of throwing off the police. That didn't work because while she stayed in the Royal Viking, Viking, I don't think it's Viking, unless I had a typo, hotel in Los Angeles under the name Donna Johnson, she met Charles Wilgraves at a bar. He recognized Dorothea from the news and called CBS and the police. He's like, I gotta call the news too, guys. Like, I found her.
My gosh.
So she was arrested and arraigned in Sacramento with no bail, which I believe is called remand. She was given remand.
I don't remember.
I don't know. But basically, she was given no bail, so she had to stay in jail. April 1990, her pre-trial began. She would stand for 9 counts of murder. Dorothy Miller, 65. Leona Carpenter, 80. Vera Faye Martin, 65. Betty Mae Palmer, 80. Ruth F. Monroe, 61. James A. Gallup, 64. Benjamin Fink, 55. Alvaro Montoya, 52. And Everson Gilmouth, 77. So, February 1993, the official trial begins, which, like, that's a big gap, but okay. All right, I understand. Shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
In August, the jury was deadlocked, and the judge was like, nah, go try again. Figure something out. So,
they said, figure it out.
Literally. So they only found her guilty on 3 counts of murder. Because a lot of them came off as overdoses.
Well, let's think about this for a second. Maybe She fed them the drugs.
Maybe. But she was only found guilty on 3 counts, and in December 1993, she was sent to life with no possibility of parole.
Good.
Puente died in prison March 27th, 2011, from natural causes at 82 years old. So she did live out her life sentence, thankfully. She didn't come back to life like that one guy did. It was like, actually, guys, I did my life sentence because I died.
That would be so messed up if she did that.
Well, she probably would if she could, but no, she just died of old age. But yeah, that's the crazy landlady.
Have you ever seen the people that are like 100 and they still haven't died of like old age, so they're still in prison?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at that point, like, what are they gonna do? They can barely walk. Everything hurts. Like, just like let them out on probation.
Right. Some prisons, like, it depends on where you are, like, because every state's different.
Mm-hmm.
Some will be like, okay, medical exemption kind of thing. Like, I believe
That's kind of rare though.
I think in Korea, like, if you have like a really bad medical condition, like, you don't stay in prison.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I know that in America it's really rare.
No, it's very, very rare for you to be released like that. But
it would solve not solve, but it would help overpopulation.
Yeah. Because, like, so, like, my great-grandmother was not in prison, but she lived to 101. Yeah. We saw her start deteriorating when she was like 95.
A fucking 100-year-old even a 95-year-old is not doing shit.
Yeah. Like, she was in a home, don't get me wrong. Because for the longest time, she lived in one of the senior community just down the road from me, like, cause
yeah,
like, literally when this house was still like being built and whatnot, my mom stayed with my great-grandmother so she could go to high school, technically where she was living.
Yeah.
Because it's the same town. So it was, but no, I really wish they could just let him go. Be like, even just put him in a home on like, and put like security at their door.
Yeah, I feel like even like 80-year-olds, like 80 years old is like pushing it. Like, depending on the 80-year-old.
It depends, yeah, because
like if the 80-year-old is like super healthy, then like yeah, keep them. But like if they're like 80 and they have medical conditions and can barely do anything and like they're just so ill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, this 80-year-old who stole a car back in 1963 is not doing
No. But it's like they can also just go from being like super healthy to like deteriorating within a second.
Yeah. And I think
because that's what old age does to you.
That should happen. Obviously within reason, like use discretion.
I'm sorry, if they were like, you know, a violent serial killer,
don't release them.
Yeah, because like violence is everywhere in this world. But yeah, so that was the landlady serial killer.
Yay.
With a bit of talk about morals.
Okay.
All right, sticky wicky girl. What do you got for me?
I was gonna say my tummy hurts, so we're just gonna go into it.
My tummy hurts too, so does my mom's. My tummy always hurts though.
Yeah.
When does my tummy not hurt?
I don't really have an intro for this one. But I guess you can try and guess. I don't think you're gonna get it, but if you really want, you can try.
Okay, last week we did aliens, right?
Yeah.
You don't seem like a repeater.
No.
So we're gonna go with haunted house.
No.
Okay, ghost?
Sorta?
Okay. This is why I can't do this game with you.
It's funny though.
Oh, by the way, before like we completely like log off and everything, I want to check the video
Okay.
after episode 26.
If the video is asked though, we are not re-recording it right now.
No, it would be like a Saturday or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say not a Thursday.
Definitely not a Thursday. It would have to be before I go to work on Saturday. Actually, no, I think
Well,
you go to work first.
I leave
I
at 2:30.
Yeah, okay. I also have to leave at 2:30-ish. I have work at 4.
Oh.
That's why I said 2:30-ish.
Okay. Anyways,
So,
well, we are talking about the Pulgas Water Temple Curse.
one more time, the what water temple curse?
Pulgas.
Oh gosh, like Bulgas?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
So
you did the thing where like that one character in Korean is like a B and a P. So I was like, huh?
sorry.
I need to work on my Korean and Japanese and Spanish. I need to work on every single fucking language.
I was
Yawn.
attempting. Yeah, sorry. I was attempting to teach Paul a little bit of Korean the other day so that he could understand K-pop songs a little bit better, and it did not work.
I taught Jackson one word, and that's saranghae.
Does he say it?
No, because he says
Oh.
he says it in Japanese.
Oh.
So he says daisuki.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I actually did not know what the fuck this was until I started looking up things that I could do for this.
I'm gonna be so honest. I went to ChatGPT because I knew I didn't have a lot of time or energy. So I was like, what is something I can research quickly for my true crime podcast?
Yeah. I feel like I did that like in the very beginning.
It's when like we don't have a lot of next week we got to figure out scheduling.
I think I did
Hold
that
on.
with Mantis Man.
Yeah, because you had 20 minutes.
Yeah. Mantis Man.
Okay, Tuesday we can record as long as we start at 11.
Okay. I shouldn't be dying, so.
I hope not. It's
But-
I have a 4:00 shift on Tuesday. I think it's like 4:00 all week long.
Okay. But yeah, I had no clue what this was until like a couple months ago when I was looking up stuff. And then I still didn't know what it was until like this week. Which I thought it was going to be a lot more exciting. But I didn't realize it wasn't like crazy until like I got to the very end and I was like, I'm not scrapping this entire thing.
Right.
So.
That's how I felt about the Brady gang doing that one. I was like, I'm going in fucking circles. I want to die.
Yeah. Like it's not like, don't get me wrong, there is like stuff. There are like legends and like spirits and everything, but it's just like I thought when it said like curse, it was like somebody cursed it and now everybody like gets like bad luck or some shit like that.
Like the curse, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That curse.
Yeah, I thought it was like that, which I'm saying right now that it's not, but I didn't realize that until I got through most of it. So, anyway, to start about the curse on a temple, we have to start talking about the temple.
Well, yeah.
So, the Pulgas Water Temple is a monumental stone rotunda located beside Upper Crystal Springs Reservoir in San Mateo County, California.
Oh, we're both in California.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So, despite its name being like temple, it was never a religious temple. It was built to celebrate something that the Californians in the 1930s considered like basically miraculous. Um, and that was the arrival of the Sierra Nevada water after traveling roughly 167 miles by gravity through the Hetch Hetchy Aqueduct.
Interesting name.
Yeah, don't really know. So basically, Californians were like, oh my gosh, this water traveled by gravity entirely by itself from this like aqueduct to California, and now we have running water.
Yay,
And
water!
So they like made a temple for it. And they're like, yay, water.
Oh my god, it's water.
So architect William Merchant, I feel like we've talked about him before.
I think so.
I feel like he was like an architect for something else I did. But he intentionally designed it to resemble a classical Roman or Greek temple. The Hetch Hetchy aqueduct itself borrowed engineering principles from ancient Roman aqueducts. So the entire monument was designed to kind of complement that. So it has a circular rotunda, fluted columns, carved stones, reflecting pools, symmetrical landscaping, cypress lined, like outside, like it's cypress lined, and it was made of marble and granite. So it literally looks like a shrine from like Rome.
Damn. That's kind of cool, not gonna lie. But
Yeah. And then around the circular ring of the rotunda, there is a verse from Isaiah 43:20, which says, I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people. And the quote basically reinforced the idea that bringing water to California seemed like almost divine because there was like no running water. So to figure out why it was built, we have to go back to like the late 1800s. So San Francisco had a major problem. So the city kept growing, the water supplies were limited, and then the 1906, hello, San Francisco earthquake happened. So after the earthquake, there was a bunch of fires, and firefighters literally ran out of water. Like large parts of the city burned because the existing water system basically failed because they had none. So then city officials literally were like, we're never letting this happen again because we literally lost almost all of our infrastructure. So they searched the Sierra Nevada for basically an enormous water source that they could get to California. And that was the Hetch Hetchy Valley. But before the Hetch Hetchy Valley became a reservoir, it was actually kind of similar to Yosemite. So like not like you know how there's Yosemite Valley in Yosemite National Park?
yeah.
It's in the same place.
Oh.
Like so naturalist John Murr. Isn't isn't that fucking an impractical joker?
I don't know anymore.
He famously described it as one of the most beautiful valleys on Earth. Yosemite Valley is still a valley, but the Hetch Hetchy Valley exists, but it is underwater in Yosemite National Park. So there was some political issues surrounding the water. Don't know how you get political over water, but you know, America manages to do that.
America is a little special.
So people who supported the like traveling of the water said, we need water to live. I would appreciate it if we had water. And those who did not like the idea were like, you can't flood a national park. Like you're gonna flood it. So John Muir and the Sierra Club basically fought against the dam and got against the aqueduct. But Congress eventually passed the Raker Act in 1913, which authorized the project despite very strong opposition. And construction of the aqueduct and reservoir took decades. So, like, that's why the temple doesn't exist until the 30s, because it took literally like 2 decades to do this. And then water first reached the peninsula in 1934. There is an indigenous layer to this, though, and it's kind of important because it does play a part later on. So long before the Europeans arrived, Hetch Hetchy Valley was home to native people, including ancestors of the Southern Sierra indigenous communities. So it contained villages, ceremonial sites, hunting grounds, gathering areas, and trails. And when the dam flooded the valley, those places disappeared underneath the reservoir. They didn't move anything, they didn't get rid of anything. They basically flooded an entire indigenous community. And that part of the history is kind of the reason that some people have like a bad view on the temple because it basically seems like it's celebrating the achievement of something that wiped out an indigenous community.
Oh, damn.
So, just a fun fact though, Pulgas means flee in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
There was a nearby like Rancho de la Pulgas, which basically is just a ranch, but they named it something about fleas for whatever reason. Don't know the
Interesting
reason.
choice.
But because it was nearby where the temple was, that's where it gets the name from. So it has nothing to do with flea.
Yeah, okay.
But the structure you see today is not the original. So when the aqueduct officially opened in 1934, a temporary ceremonial temple stood on the site. Thousands of spectators gathered to watch the water, but the permanent stone monument wasn't completed until 1938. And originally, visitors could stand inside the rotunda and hear those millions of gallons of water like rushing underneath the temple. And it would exit through a curved waterfall that would flow toward Upper Crystal Springs Reservoir. But beginning in 2004, the main flow underneath the temple was diverted to a modern treatment facility. So now, really, it's just the temple. There is a little bit of water at the temple, but it's not flowing, really. It's just there. So, like, you can still see water, but, you know. So, that's the general history of the temple. Now we have the curse part.
Yes, what is said curse?
So, there are actually a couple different legends about the Pulgas Water Temple. So, we're going to go through each of them. A lot of the legends don't like have a lot of excessive detail, but it's the sheer amount of legends that led people to believe that it was cursed because they were like, how much shit can happen at this place? So like people just believe that it's cursed because apparently there's so much bad shit that happens. But there's no like legend as to how it got cursed necessarily.
Gotcha.
But the first legend is the Hetch Hetchy curse.
Oh, gee.
So
great choice.
So basically the story goes, this is probably the closest we have to the reason why the temple itself is cursed. It's not an exact explanation, but it's probably the closest we have. Basically the story goes that when the Hetch Hetchy Valley was flooded, something sacred in the indigenous communities that it flooded was disturbed. So native spirits were displaced. The valley rejected the dam. It was mad. The water carried the memory of the drowned people and the drowned lands. And the monument celebrated the destruction, which angered the native spirits even more. So basically, the native spirits whose community got like flooded and ruined basically fought back and were like, we're going to curse this fucking temple.
Damn.
Because you're a little bitch and you flooded our community.
One way to do it.
But when people visit the temple, they feel overwhelming sadness. They will get sudden headaches. Their electronics will malfunction. They'll have strange dreams after they visit. And sometimes they'll hear voices in another language near the water. All kind of weird. I feel like there's explanations for like the electronics malfunctioning, but also that's creepy nonetheless. And I would 100%
Yeah.
believe that there's some like Native American like spirit that's like pissed that they drowned the community.
To be fair, you could say that about every quote curse thing here in America, that there's something native adjacent, because we, as a white person, our ancestors were fucking assholes.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, the second legend is the woman in white.
Ooh.
So this is probably the oldest story associated with the
Isn't there
temple.
always a fucking woman in white, though?
Yeah. So basically, according to the local retellings, late at night, a woman dressed entirely in white walks around the reflecting pool. Sometimes she's standing beneath the columns, and sometimes she's looking into the water, but if someone approaches, she disappears. Different versions claim that she was the wife of an engineer who worked there, a woman who drowned in the reflecting pool, someone whose fiance died during the construction, or a grieving mother of someone who died during the construction. So there are also apparently shadow figures at the temple. So some visitors say that they have seen dark silhouettes moving behind the columns. So they will say that people are walking when there is no one present, figures watching from inside the rotunda, shadows moving against the light, and silhouettes that disappear instantly. And these reports didn't become more common until like the 2000s, when like shadow people became like well known. So like that one doesn't hold as much truth to me, because I'm like, you probably just started seeing them because of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the Whispering Water legend. So this legend dates back to when the water actually rushed beneath the temple. So people standing inside the rotunda could hear an enormous echo and not just of water. So some visitors claim that if you stood very quietly, the water would start to like fade and you would hear people like speaking instead of water, which I think that's more of like an audio like pareidolia thing. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, I don't know, but basically people believe that they would hear people talking, children laughing, chanting, or crying, but engineers explained that as acoustics. So basically the moving water would create echoes that our brain would try and interpret into speech. But still, some people did not buy that explanation. So some people
Mhm.
think that the water whispers back to you.
Ooh, spooky. Spooky
So
ooky.
the legend with the most truth behind it, though, has to do with the underground tunnels underneath the temple. So the aqueduct system contains enormous underground infrastructure that was basically maintenance passages, valves, control rooms, and drainage systems. And because of that, people began imagining like a lot more stuff going on down there. So basically, rumors included hidden chambers beneath the temple, abandoned government bunkers, there were a bunch of sealed rooms, there were forgotten construction tunnels, underground rail carts, and rooms that were filled with old engineering equipment. Yeah, basically, people thought that a bunch of people died during the like construction of the temple
Yeah,
in those underground tunnels.
that's usually
And
how
now
that
there's
goes.
like spirits down there that like affect the temple.
Because this was built in what year again? Sorry.
It started getting built in like the 1908, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
finished until like 1934.
You see, OSHA, I don't think existed then.
No.
So there
There's
were
definitely
not
people that
safety
died.
concerns. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then there's the disappearing teenagers story.
Oh,
So the legend
okay.
appeared sometime in the late 20th century. Um, the story goes that teenagers dared each other to enter the old aqueduct, and some floated into the tunnels, and then they were never seen again.
Goddamn teenagers.
Yeah. Some say that one person like managed to hold on to the side of the temple and like didn't go down the water.
Okay.
Like they stuck their feet in the temple and not their
Oh,
entire body. So like they
got it.
managed to like stay, but then they refused to talk about anything about like what happened.
They probably felt like fish or something nibbling at their feet.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know.
But they were like basically like, yeah, I don't want to talk about this. But we don't know if that person that like survived like
Mhm.
actually exists. Um, there is a ghost story tied here as well. So some people claim that the ghost of an engineer walks the grounds and not the tunnels, the grounds.
Oh.
And he's described as wearing a 1930s hat, carrying a blueprint, standing beside the water, and then he disappears behind one of the columns. He apparently appears like close to sunrise and also when it's foggy out.
That
Sunrise? I don't know why
two
sunrise.
different things.
I don't know when sunrise. Why sunrise?
Yeah, because like foggy, like you can't see much, but sunrise you start to see more. I don't get it.
I don't know. People also report hearing machinery, metal doors closing, valves opening, but there's no water that flows through there anymore. The machine is turned off.
Oh, okay.
So like people are like, why am I hearing like things down there? Like why are valves opening and like the machinery is like making weird noises and stuff. Now, the machinery can just be making weird creaking noises because it's
Yeah.
old. But like I would be creeped out if I knew there was no running water
Right?
and like a machine just started creaking.
No, I would too.
So also if you mock the temple, it's said to bring bad luck.
Who the
So
fuck mocks a temple?
I mean it's technically not a religious temple.
Oh, okay. But still.
Yeah, it's just called a temple because like the water was such a big thing, but it was never religiously like affiliated.
Hey, you don't know that. Someone could have thrown some holy water in there.
I think the holy water would have been gone by now.
Well, okay, like threw a cross in there or something and blessed the water. Made it holy water. That's what I meant.
Okay, fair. Fair.
It could have
But
been like
these
how in Supernatural it was either like Sam or Dean, they like blessed the water, so like it killed a spirit or something. I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
I need to rewatch this shit.
Me too. Basically, the bad luck includes, but is not limited to, flat tires, lost wallets, extreme arguments, electronics breaking, and your car breaking down, things falling off walls and hitting people in the head. So basically, you know, the classic, this
Mhm.
place is cursed and you're going to have bad luck and die.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So that's the last of like the well-known legends. There's smaller ones, but I already had a lot, so I didn't like go into them. But the legends persist because there are a lot of elements that like combine to make like a weird kind of scenario. So it looks much older than it is. It resembles a sacred building. It commemorates a controversial engineering project. It's in a quiet wooded area that has a lot of fog. It once echoed with the sound of rushing water, which would create a weird atmosphere. And much of the surrounding water system is hidden underground, which makes people speculate stuff. And basically, these elements combine to make it ideal for ghost stories. Um, so the curse isn't really like a singular major curse, but like rather so many small legends that are tied to it that make people believe that it is cursed as a whole. Because like why are so many bad legends existing at a place that isn't
Right?
cursed? So that's basically what makes people believe that it is cursed. That is the Flea Water Temple. Still don't know why it's called the Flea Water Temple, but it's
Yeah, I don't know how I
Pulgas.
feel about that, but all right, Tay. That was an interesting one. I don't know how I feel about it.
Okay.
Big yawn.
Like I said, I didn't realize it was like low-key kind of like until I got to like the end and I was like, That title's a little bit misleading.
Just a little bit. Especially because it's not like a religious temple, and you hear temple, so you think there's religious meaning to it.
There's also no curse.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole misleading thing. So I thought it was going to be more entertaining.
It's fine. You'll do better next week. It wasn't a bad story. It wasn't as entertaining as some of them usually are. I mean, mine wasn't really either.
I thought it was going to be entertaining, and then it wasn't. So I'm disappointed.
Well, next week I'm going to try to stay away from murder and do something else.
Arson.
I will take it into consideration.
I keep guessing arson too for some
Because
reason.
I haven't done an arsonist yet.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be your first guess until it's
Did
right.
you just hear my stomach?
No.
Oh.
It might have gone through. I don't know.
My stomach was like...
Well, okay. Corey has a tummy wummy ache.
I think I have to throw up, guys.
What did I just fucking tell you earlier? Don't talk about that to me.
I thought it was if I do it.
Oh, that's even worse, but like I don't want to think of you throwing up. Cause I think like I am realizing I do have like that phobia. Because like please don't lick the microphone. What the fuck are you doing?
My tongue wasn't actually touching it.
I still don't agree with it. Anyway, no, it's like when I was working in childcare, I had to help the child throw up, and like I was like holding his hair back and like comforting him as he was actively vomiting, and like I'm trying not to, and like my coworker looks at me and she's like, "Do you need to switch?" And I'm like, "Please, I'm just the one that caught him."
I got thrown up on by a child. Like he was about to get a snack, and I was like next to him. So this kid managed to not throw up on me because I jumped out of the way, and I got a little bit of throw up on my shoe.
Okay, but the shoe's not as bad as like your clothes, because then you feel it stick to your skin.
But I did get thrown up on like on my clothes before. I also got like a kid like ran into a door, and he got like a
not new to me.
But he got like a massive bloody nose, and like it was not stopping. It was like 20 minutes and it wasn't stopping. His parents refused to pick him up.
Of course they did.
But he got like a massive bloody nose, and it was running for like 20 minutes. I was like holding a tissue to his nose for a while, and I just got his blood like all over me. My golden nugget sweatshirt has literal blood stains on it that I cannot get out even with like stain remover because a kid got a bloody nose. This was a different kid. A kid got a bloody nose and it dripped all over my sweatshirt, and I tried to get it out for like months and it just is stuck on the sleeve. So now I just have some kid's blood stain. If that kid ever winds up dead, I'm screwed.
If this kid ever gets murdered,
like I'm screwed because his blood is on my sweatshirt. I can't get it out.
You can explain, like, you have an alibi, like, hey, I was a childcare worker and he had a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Why would they look at you? You don't work there anymore.
He was a little bitch.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, let's sign off so we stop talking about bodily fluids.
I don't get a worse time.
Okay, sign off.
Okay. So, the TikTok.
Oh my god.
What?
My dad complaining about your funny voices, and I'm just like, and she does it every fucking time.
Okay, fine. The TikTok is
no, do what you want. I don't care.
Pod. The Instagram is Let's Spill the Tea Pod, and the Gmail is lstt.pod@gmail.com. And that is it. And I didn't do a funny voice, but I did do a funny rhythm.
That's fine.
So your dad can't get mad because I didn't do a funny voice. I did a funny rhythm.
Anyway, we spilled that tea. Way too much tea. But we did spill the tea. Goodbye. Are you gonna say bye? Bye.
Oh, bye.